So can you just introduce a little bit about you and what you do? Okay.
Yeah, so my name is Ruth Wilkinson, and I have a business called the Consult Centre. The Consult Centre is probably about 4 years old or so now. We do a number of things, but primarily what we do is business growth. So we are experts in all things that are social media, and I say we because it's not just me. There's a team of people that work as part of the Consult Centre, and we do everything from business coaching, startup work, working with a client who wants to start a business. We do everything from social media optimization, website building, training people on social media, and managing all their social media for them. So that's design, podcasting, video cast, all that kind of stuff. So we're a media house, really.
You've got everything covered, all the bases.
All things digital, yeah.
And podcasting is really popular at the moment. I find it I think especially with lockdown and things, everyone's got too much time on their hands. I'm always on a podcast. So I wondered, what motivated you to start the Consult Centre, and how did you get to where you are today with it?
So what motivated me to start it is that primarily I'm a learning and development expert. So I have throughout my corporate career worked in either training roles, managing training teams, writing training programs, or lecturing at university, which I do for University of Cumbria, or doing some lecturing for Lancaster and Waltham College. So always about learning and development. And I completed a master's in coaching and mentoring, and having done that, I then started to coach clients privately, and it took off from there. And then we started to train people in all things that were business related. And one of the biggest things we got demands for was social media. So rather than kind of give them just what we thought was our knowledge, we went away and did all our Facebook accreditation. Well, I did, went with Facebook accreditations, which are very painful, take a very long time. And I know why there's only very few Facebook pros in the country, because nobody wants to give up the social life for a year while they learn it all. So so I took that on, and then I qualified, and I'm accredited, and I trained other people, and I did the same thing with Google, the same thing with LinkedIn, and all the other platforms.
Wow.
And eventually clients came back to us and said, look, I know you've taught us how to do it, but we don't want to. Will you do it? And 4 years later and 45 clients later, we now manage some very well-known local, national and international brands for all of their social media. So yeah.
It sounds like a lot of work. Good work, but what? A lot of work.
It has been really hard work. It has been really hard work. And why did I want to do it? I suppose was your second question. Was I'd done 25 years in corporate industry by then. So I'd got to board level. I'd already had my own business. I'd sold it to a very large business and then joined their company. So I'd done this once already. And I loved where I worked. It was a company called Daisy Communications, my last company. Loved it, loved the people I worked with. They were fantastic. But I just felt if I didn't do it again now, I probably wasn't going to go and do it again. And they supported me to do that. So I was very fortunate because they were a great company. But yeah, so it went from being me, then me and somebody else, to me and now a team of 6 of us. So,
well, no, definitely more than a pub quiz team there. So I wonder, what's the highlight for you of the job? What do you enjoy most about it?
The customer feedback, to be fair, the client feedback, should I say. So we have a bit of a company ethos. So the ethos for us is we always do more than we're expected to do. And when we get clients that email us to say, I am the busiest I've ever been since you've been doing my media, or the post you've done today is fantastic, it's just what I would have done, or without you I don't know what I'd do, or it's their feedback that's the most important bit, really. and 90% of our clients come from referral.
Okay.
So it's one client, yes, but they
Word.
have to be satisfied for that to happen, which makes it incredibly rewarding when that happens. So
No,
that's
definitely spreading the word. Yeah. I wondered like how you felt your educational like background and things. Did you have any experience with entrepreneurship in like your like first like school and after that year? Where did your entrepreneurial kind of skills?
Oh, what, when I was at school?
Yeah,
When I was
like
at college? No.
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 Oh wow.
No, I think I can't remember what my careers teacher told me, but they definitely didn't tell me I'd be an entrepreneur.
Sorry.
No, my favourite things at school or college or uni. So school and college were history, art, drama, anything that was slightly creative or expressive, or quite nerdy with stats and detail and data. Yeah, definitely was for me. And I was quite artistic. And I went on to study art and other creative subjects after that. And then I dropped out of uni and didn't stay at uni, and then went back to uni when I was 43, 2, and did a master's,
Super
because
nice.
that's normal. But yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how like your interests were like literally like arts and then the stats side, and your business kind of exists at both of those. Like it has the creative and
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and I agree with that. But I think I cut my teeth in corporate industry, so I went to work for somebody else to really learn discipline. I think I'm quite disciplined, and I've been disciplined because I've been taught by some of the best people in those large corporate businesses. So I've taken all that learning and put it into a small business, which has proved really successful. But I think part of the reason we are so successful is because I've taken all the really good stuff that
yeah,
I've learned and avoided all the really bad stuff
that's
that I've seen.
yeah, yeah.
So I suppose I've kind of earned my stripes in that sense. I would love it if there was more entrepreneurial focus for people that are younger.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And that's like, I don't know, like, do you think it would be useful for them to have it kind of in a, like, as a lesson or in a practical, like, how would you imagine, and it's a bit of a big question. I don't know how I would imagine entrepreneurship to be taught in schools or colleges, but what do you think is the best way for someone to learn?
I think it's a really good point. And I think if it was, if I had a say in that, I would probably say teach pupils strategic decision making. So understanding risk, mitigating risk, taking risk, understanding finances. What's a balance sheet? What's a profit and loss sheet? What's a business bank account? Why is it different to a normal bank account? The fundamentals of advertising, the fundamentals of marketing. You could actually do a subject matter of entrepreneurship and teach it in those modules. And even if someone didn't go on to start their own business, any business they joined would benefit from the fact that that person had been through that type of coursework and understanding it. So, I have people that come to see me that want to start a business, but they don't understand how to put together an income forecast or a cost forecast. Well, that's not because they can't understand it, it's because they've never been shown it.
Yeah, no, that's the key.
We could be doing that to people that are between 16, 18, whatever it is, years of age. And I think you'd have loads of people coming out of college and school thinking, right, I'm not going to work for anybody else. I'm going to work for myself. We just need to give them the practical skills and the boundaries within which they need to work in, and then let them go. But we don't. We keep them, you've got to go and get a job somewhere. And I don't think that's true anymore.
I agree so much. It really does. I feel as well like I came out like with a degree in film, and then someone passes me a camera and I'm like, oh, I have no idea. Well, now I do, but it's that thing. It's a lot of theory, isn't it, often? And then it kind of gets lost, the translation into the real life, which is why, go on.
We tend to teach theoretically,
yeah,
because that's how teaching is. But actually, if you taught, shall I say, in a practical, experiential type way. So in other words, I'm going to put you into industry for a week. You're going to come back and tell me what you've learned, and I'm going to tell you some more things, and I'm going to put you back out again. You'd get people coming out ready for the job market or ready for their own entrepreneurship that had a clue what was going on, rather than some of the things that I'll probably argue we do teach pupils in lessons that they're never going to use again.
Yeah, more traditional.
Algebra being one of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I would be a fan. I would vote first for that to leave the curriculum. That's so funny. But so I agree completely. I was thinking we're part of the project. We're hoping to set up some like entrepreneurship hubs. So like when in a college or something, there's like a point where if a young person has an idea, they can like have a bit of exposure to, i.e. like how to do the practical aspects. But what would your advice be to a young person that wanted to get involved in business or saw themselves as an entrepreneur? What advice would you be in? What path would you advise them to follow?
I'm not sure whether I could give you a path, because it might change significantly depending on what it is they're wanting to do.
Yeah.
But all the mistakes they're about to make have already been made. All the successes they're about to have already been had. So the answer to my best bit of advice would be, go and see somebody who's made those mistakes. Come and sit with someone like me who's more than happy to do it. Most people are, and say, what are the things you wish you hadn't done and what are the things you wish you had done, and jump the head start of the things that are going to cause you a problem. The other thing is get a mentor really quickly.
Okay.
So go to somebody who is in business and is being successful, and they're at a point in their career where they can take a few hours out of their business because they've got other people in their business with them, and say, will you mentor me? I'm starting a business. Will you mentor me? Because you can go to university and you will absolutely benefit, or you can go to college and of course you're going to benefit from that. But also speaking to somebody who has done it and can be your mentor and is invested in your success and will help you, avoid the holes that you might drop into, and will allow you to see the ladder faster that you can get up. They're walking around with all that knowledge and nobody's asking them.
Yeah.
So whatever your path's going to be, go and ask somebody who's made the mistakes already and had the successes already. And I would really hope that 99 times out of 100, someone's going to go, of course I'll give you that help. Of course I'm going to support you. Because people like me want to see other people doing the same thing, so.
No, that's really valuable, because like that relationship and like the fact that it's so like personalized to them and like what they would do is, and I think it can be like a bit scary to like reach out to someone, but no.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, and the other thing is, offer to volunteer in a business. So I have someone who comes here to understand what we do as a PR, a multimedia agency. They come to work for us for nothing, for I think it's a day a week that he does, but it's because he can sit and just absorb everything that happens.
Yeah.
And he's learning all the time. And then in return for him giving us that time, we give him free training.
Yeah. No, what an experience. So he's like set up already, like a kind of, definitely.
Put it on his CV. He could use that when he goes to the bank to get his first business loan. He's already been in that industry, all those things. But I think, don't listen to your friends and family is the other key piece of advice I would give you. That's going to sound awful. And the reason for that is your mates will tell you it'll definitely work because they want you to work.
Yeah.
They want it to work out for you. Your parents and family will be frightened to death for you. And they'll go, oh no, just go and get a proper job. Yeah. Because they love you very much and they want you to be safe and they want you to be able to pay your mortgage or pay your rent, whatever it is. So they're going to say, oh, no, just go and get a job. Don't take the risk. Your mates are going to go, yeah, go for it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
They're too invested in you to give you sound advice.
Yeah. No, that's a really
good they're really well-meaning.
Yeah.
Of course they are. But coming from the wrong place. Whereas if you go and see a mentor, they have no vested interest. So they're going to challenge you and they're going to ask you the questions and get into the detail and stuff. So you want the person who is objective, not the person that isn't, would be the bit of advice. The most important thing.
No, it's definitely, because it sounds like counterintuitive to like say no to the parents and things like that, but no, they like, risk is the thing, like you need the risk, but they just like, they like want to wrap you up. So no, that really makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Because that was amazing. Any thoughts?
No, the only other bit of advice I would give you is make sure you make some time for yourself. So make sure that you know what a success is, and that you've identified it already, so that when you get it, you make time to celebrate it. Because it's too easy to get too wrapped up in what's gone wrong and not what's gone right. So if you know what those targets are, if you've set yourself some goals, when you do hit them, take time to reward yourself and celebrate them. Because it's too easy to get on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and then you don't look back and look at what you've achieved. So be clear about what it is you're trying to achieve, but when you have achieved it, make sure that you stand there and give yourself a very large pat on the back for having done it, and enjoy the success, because you will be successful.
That is solid advice. No, I honestly think, definitely the party. It's worth having the party, if nothing else. But thank you so much. I really